Hello there. Welcome. Please, make yourself comfortable. It's good to have this quiet moment together. Looking out this window, I see the seasons change year after year. The leaves turn gold, fall, then the buds return in spring. It's a rhythm, isn't it? Life has its own rhythms, its own seasons. And just like the world outside, our own bodies change throughout our lives, especially as we move into these later chapters, our 60s, 70s, 80s, and beyond. I've had the privilege of listening to people, truly listening, for many decades now. And lately, I hear a recurring whisper, a quiet concern that surfaces in conversations, often tinged with a little confusion, sometimes frustration. It's this: "Doctor, I don't understand. I'm eating the same as I always have, maybe even less. But the numbers on the scale keep creeping up. Why am I gaining weight?" Perhaps you've asked yourself this very question. Or maybe you're watching a loved one, a parent or grandparent, navigate this change and you're wondering alongside them. It's a common experience, and I want you to know, right from the start, this isn't about blame. It's not about willpower failing or doing something wrong. It's often about understanding the natural, subtle shifts happening within us. Aging is a complex tapestry, woven with threads of experience, wisdom, and yes, physical changes. Sometimes, these changes manifest in ways that surprise us, like unexpected weight gain. It can feel disconcerting, can't it? You feel you're doing everything right, yet your body seems to be following a different script. It might affect how your clothes fit, how you feel moving around, maybe even how you see yourself. And that touches on something deeper, doesn't it? Our sense of well-being, our vitality, our dignity. So, let's gently unpack this together. Let's explore 7 common reasons why you might be noticing some weight gain after 70, even if your appetite hasn't changed much. Think of this as a conversation, a sharing of insights gathered over many years, offered with care. The first reason, and perhaps the most fundamental one, is the natural slowing of our metabolism. Think of your body like a car engine. When you were younger, that engine might have idled quite high, burning fuel even when you were resting. As we age, the basal metabolic rate, the energy your body uses just to keep everything running, your heart beating, your lungs breathing, your brain thinking, while at rest, tends to decrease. It's a gradual downshift. Several factors contribute to this, but the simple reality is that your body likely needs fewer calories just to maintain itself than it did 10, 20, or 30 years ago. So, even eating the same amount of food that previously kept your weight stable might now lead to a slow, incremental gain. It's not a dramatic overnight change, usually. It's more like a tiny trickle accumulating over time. You might not even notice it month to month, but over a year or two, the difference becomes apparent. It's a quiet shift in your body's internal economy. Now, closely linked to this metabolic slowdown is the second reason: a change in body composition, specifically the gradual loss of muscle mass. This process, sometimes called sarcopenia, is a natural part of aging. Muscle tissue is metabolically active. It burns more calories at rest compared to fat tissue. As we age, if we're not actively working to maintain muscle, we tend to lose some of it. Think of muscle as the furnace in your house. The bigger the furnace, the more fuel it burns just to stay warm. As the furnace shrinks slightly over the years, it needs less fuel. Similarly, with less muscle mass, your body's overall calorie requirement decreases. This doesn't mean you suddenly become weak, not at all. It's often a subtle shift. But losing even a small amount of that calorie-burning muscle tissue, while perhaps gaining a little fat tissue, changes the equation. The scale might not even move much initially, but the underlying composition shift makes it easier to gain weight later on, or harder to lose it, even with the same diet. It's like the balance has subtly tilted. We need to be mindful of nurturing that muscle, reminding our bodies that we still need it, that it's vital for strength, balance, and yes, for maintaining a healthy metabolic rate. And this leads us quite naturally to the third reason: changes in physical activity levels. Life evolves. Retirement might mean less structured daily movement compared to a physically demanding job or a busy commute. Perhaps aches and pains in the joints, a bit of arthritis in the knees or hips, maybe some stiffness in the back, make vigorous exercise less appealing or even difficult. Maybe energy levels aren't quite what they used to be, leading to more time spent sitting or resting. It's completely understandable. Our bodies guide us, sometimes telling us to slow down. But the consequence is, inevitably, fewer calories burned throughout the day. That walk to the corner store might become a drive. Gardening might involve more sitting breaks. Even everyday activities, like climbing stairs or carrying groceries, might decrease slightly in frequency or intensity. It's often not a conscious decision to be less active, but rather a gradual adaptation to how we feel or the structure of our days. When you combine this reduction in calories burned through activity with a metabolism that's already idling a bit lower, and perhaps a slight decrease in muscle mass, you can see how the balance can tip towards weight gain, even without eating more. It's like putting the same amount of fuel into a car that's being driven less. Eventually, the tank overflows. Recognizing this isn't about pushing yourself beyond your limits. It's about finding gentle, sustainable ways to keep moving, to honor what your body can do, and perhaps finding new activities that bring joy and keep you mobile within your comfort zone. Even small amounts of regular movement make a difference. Think about a simple chair exercise routine, a gentle swim, or a walk in the park, perhaps with a friend or family member. It's about consistency, not necessarily intensity. The fourth reason involves the subtle, yet powerful, influence of hormonal changes. Hormones act like messengers in our bodies, regulating countless processes, including appetite, metabolism, and where fat is stored. As we age, the production and balance of these hormones shift. For women, the decrease in estrogen after menopause is a significant factor. Estrogen influences fat distribution and metabolism, and its decline can lead to a tendency to store more fat, particularly around the abdomen. It's a well-documented change that many women experience. But men aren't immune to hormonal shifts either. Testosterone levels generally decrease with age, and lower testosterone can contribute to loss of muscle mass and an increase in body fat. Other hormones, like those regulating appetite, ghrelin and leptin, or stress, cortisol, can also fluctuate, or our bodies might respond to them differently as we get older. These are not dramatic, overnight upheavals usually, but slow, steady undercurrents that can alter your body's chemistry and predisposition to gain or hold onto weight. It's another layer in this complex picture, a reminder that our internal landscape is constantly adapting throughout our lives. Understanding this doesn't necessarily change the hormones themselves without medical intervention, but it can foster acceptance and encourage focusing on the lifestyle factors we can influence, like diet and exercise, to help counteract these natural hormonal drifts. Now, let's talk about something very important and often overlooked: the fifth reason, medication side effects. As we navigate our later years, it's quite common to be taking one or more medications for chronic conditions. High blood pressure, diabetes, arthritis, heart conditions, depression, sleep issues. These are realities for many of us. And the medications that help manage these conditions, while often essential for health and quality of life, can sometimes come with side effects, including weight gain. Certain antidepressants, steroids, like prednisone used for inflammation, some diabetes medications, particularly insulin and certain oral drugs, beta blockers for heart conditions or high blood pressure, and even some antihistamines can contribute to an increase in appetite or changes in metabolism that lead to weight gain. It's a potential trade-off, sometimes. The benefit of the medication outweighs the side effect, but the side effect is still real. It's absolutely crucial, if you suspect a medication might be contributing to weight gain, not to stop taking it abruptly. Never do that. Instead, have an open conversation with your doctor. Bring a list of all your medications, including over-the-counter ones and supplements. Ask specifically, could any of these be contributing to my weight change? Are there alternative medications we could consider? Sometimes, a different drug in the same class, or a different type of treatment altogether, might be an option with less impact on weight. Your doctor needs to weigh the benefits and risks with you. It's about teamwork, about managing your overall health picture and understanding all the factors at play. I remember a patient, a lovely lady in her late 70s, who was very distressed about gaining weight despite being careful with her diet. We reviewed her medications, and a particular one for nerve pain stood out. We were able, carefully, to switch her to a different option, and over time, her weight stabilized. It's not always the case, but it's always worth discussing. The sixth reason isn't actually about gaining fat, but it shows up on the scale just the same: fluid retention. Sometimes, an increase in weight, especially if it seems to happen relatively quickly, might be due to the body holding onto excess fluid, also known as edema. This can cause swelling, often noticeable in the legs, ankles, and feet, but it can also contribute to overall weight gain. Fluid retention can be linked to several underlying medical conditions that become more common with age, such as heart failure, where the heart isn't pumping efficiently, kidney disease, where the kidneys aren't filtering waste and fluid properly, or liver disease. Certain medications, including some blood pressure drugs, pain relievers like NSAIDs, and steroids, can also cause fluid retention as a side effect. Even just sitting or standing for long periods without moving can sometimes cause fluid to pool in the lower legs. If you notice sudden weight gain, especially accompanied by swelling, shortness of breath, or decreased urination, it's very important to see your doctor promptly to determine the cause. While it contributes to the number on the scale, managing fluid retention requires addressing the underlying medical issue or adjusting medications, quite different from managing weight gain due to fat accumulation. It's a reminder that the scale tells only part of the story, and understanding why the number is changing is key. And finally, the seventh reason ties into our daily rhythms: changes in sleep patterns. Sleep is not just passive rest. It's a critical time for the body to repair, restore, and regulate itself. Many older adults find their sleep patterns change. They might have difficulty falling asleep, wake up frequently during the night, or wake up very early in the morning and not be able to get back to sleep. Chronic poor sleep or insomnia can disrupt the balance of hormones that regulate hunger and fullness, specifically ghrelin, which stimulates appetite, and leptin, which signals fullness. When you're sleep deprived, ghrelin levels tend to go up and leptin levels tend to go down. This means you might feel hungrier, less satisfied after eating, and perhaps crave foods higher in calories and carbohydrates. Furthermore, fatigue from lack of sleep can make you less likely to be physically active during the day, further tilting the energy balance towards weight gain. It's a bit of a cycle. Poor sleep affects hormones and energy, which can contribute to weight gain, and sometimes factors related to weight gain, like sleep apnea, can further disrupt sleep. Addressing sleep issues, therefore, can be an important part of managing weight. This might involve improving sleep hygiene, like maintaining a regular sleep schedule, creating a restful bedroom environment, avoiding caffeine and heavy meals late in the day, or talking to your doctor if sleep problems persist. Good quality sleep is fundamental to overall health, and its impact on weight regulation is significant. So, you see, there are quite a few threads weaving together here. The slowing metabolism, the shift in muscle mass, changes in activity levels, hormonal adjustments, medication effects, potential fluid retention, and the impact of sleep patterns. It's rarely just one single cause, more often a combination of these factors gently nudging the balance over time. Recognizing these reasons is the first step. It helps shift the perspective from self-blame to understanding. It allows us to approach our health with compassion and knowledge. What does this mean for you or for your loved one? It means acknowledging that the body in its 70s, 80s, or 90s operates differently than it did in its 30s or 40s. And that's okay. It means focusing not just on the number on the scale, but on overall well-being, maintaining mobility, strength, energy levels, and managing chronic conditions effectively. It means being mindful of food choices, perhaps focusing on nutrient-dense foods, plenty of fruits, vegetables, lean proteins to support muscle, whole grains, without necessarily resorting to drastic diets, which can sometimes be counterproductive or even harmful in later life. It's about finding enjoyable ways to stay active, tailored to your abilities: that walk, that swim, those chair exercises, dancing in the living room. It means having those crucial conversations with your doctor about your medications and any underlying health concerns, including fluid retention or sleep issues. Most importantly, it means approaching this stage of life with kindness towards yourself. Your body has carried you through decades, through joys and sorrows, work and rest. It deserves care and respect, not criticism. Weight is just one aspect of health. Far more important are vitality, engagement with life, connection with loved ones, and maintaining your independence and dignity for as long as possible. Sometimes, accepting a slightly different normal for your body, while still making healthy choices, is the most compassionate path. Focus on how you feel, on what you can do, rather than solely on a number. Embrace the wisdom that comes with these years. Share your stories. Stay connected. These are the things that truly enrich life. If you are concerned, please talk to your healthcare provider. Together, you can create a plan that supports your health and well-being in this unique and valuable chapter of your life. Take good care of yourselves and each other. Be well.